Welcome back to Mechanic Garage. Another sunny day, so hopefully there'll be a good day for cleaning carpets. I've got a load of degreasy stuff for the worst bits. I've dissolved two washing tablets in some warm water and gonna get that scrubbed in, give them a jet wash off and see how they come up. They're not horrendous, but I think most of it will come out with the water, but there's a few areas where it's had a bit of oily greasy stuff put in over the years to keep stuff lubricated, and hopefully it'll clean up okay. We'll go and have a look, see what we've got. Right, we've got the carpets out obviously, and you can see the difference where it's been covered up all its life and then where it's been exposed. And rear footwells, obviously they take a bit of hammer, but they just generally need a good clean. And while it's out, there's no better time for it. There's a lot of fluff off the seat covers and disintegrating seats, but the rest of it, other than the passenger side's okay. The driver's side, around the throttle pedal area especially, is a bit grubby, and that side obviously was well used. Little bits of carpet there. The other two bits in the corners, I'll probably just give a freshen up in situ, just because they won't be too bad. So the bucket got warm water in, a couple of tablets, washing tablets in there, and the old scrubbing brush. So I'm going to spray a bit of degreaser on the worst bits and we'll make a start. Right. Spray a bit of this on to start with, just ending degreaser for the worst areas. It's quite oily under here. And get this in, it's water soluble. So the worst areas, like where it's been greased and things, I mean, it was looked after and well serviced, it's no doubt about that. Just got a little bit into the carpet over the years, into the corners and that. Scrubbed in quite well now, so I'll leave it a little bit and then jet wash it out. Let it soak on the back ones. They're not oily particularly, so most of that may just rinse out. I mean, this is no way in anything against the previous owner. It was a well used car, and build up of muck and that over the years, over the miles, and eventually it comes out. You can see how bad it is and clean it. So it's nothing against the other guy that owned it. I'm just taking the opportunity while it's out to clean it. So I'll get the pressure wash on. I'll have to move the camera, otherwise I'll be getting my new foam wet. Right, in reality that was about an hour and a half, so I figured you probably didn't want to watch all of it. It's just a case of jet washing all soapy water out and keep going until all the mucky brown muck and everything comes out, and just keep going till the water's clear. Got these two here, they're the front kickboard ones, around the wheel arches. The driver's ones come up particularly well considering how it was. These two at the moment are just literally draining. Water runs to the lowest point out through the weave of it because it's quite thin nylon-y stuff. It drains quite quickly, so once it stops dripping a lot I'll turn them over, but they have come up really well. I had to do a couple of small extra bits on the driver's side one around the pedal area, just because of the grounding and muck and where it'd been rubbing on steering column and wiring and things like that. But generally, they will be going back in later on today a hell of a lot better, provided that little area. Let's just have a look at it. There is a slight area where I pointed out before. There. Now, I don't know if it's rusty. I'll clean off. It's had like copper crest rubbed on it. But in the corners, I cleaned off the driver's side one the other day, and it's rock solid. It's just had some goo protective slime put on it, like grease or oil or something, wax oil maybe, that's seeped through from inside the pillars. But either way, whatever it is, it's protected it because it's solid underneath. I just need to inspect that part there and make sure it isn't a hole or rusty, because if it is, we'll have to sort something out. But other than that, I'm planning on getting the interior back in. Obviously, there's that bit of welding to do on this corner, so I won't be getting the rear put back together properly. Just get it back in so it's laying flat and out of the way. It's amazing how much space a car interior takes. And you try and put a set seats and things in your garage. I've been putting it back in here, but then you're folding carpet up and everything. It's not ideal for it, so the idea is to get it back in and get it flat so it's its right shape, and go from there. Right, this is I've stopped dripping mostly now, but that's the driver's footwell. That still a bit shadowy in places. It'll never be perfect, it's old carpet. 130,000 mile on nearly, damn it. But it's so much better, so much cleaner, and when it dries it'll be less patchy as well. Again with the rear, I showed you the bit here. You can see the complete difference between that and there. There's an ever so slight difference still, the age with sun and things like that, but infinitely better. It may need a quick hoover out when it's dried, because there'll be little bits of sand and stuff if we're still within the weave of it. But generally that's quite good, and it's drying really quickly. It's certainly far better than it was. Yeah, that back one with a light on it, you can see where the footprints were, or the footmarks were in the rear wells. But I've got mats to go over it. It's a lot cleaner than it was. It's not a show winner, it's just a clean, fresh car. These bits for the wheel arches are still dripping a little bit, but other than that, excuse the shadows, I've already got the front seats ready to go in. As I said before in a previous one, the dashboard's all changed. Now, it's a 120 basic car. I don't think it would have had a rev counter in originally, so it may have been swapped over at some point in its life when it had the dashboard put in from the 130. But I'm not too worried. I'm going to leave it in. I might paint the silver rims black so it tones it down a bit, and may leave them as they are, because I know they were usually for earlier cars or for higher spec ones. But at the moment they can stay like that. Unless anyone knows any different, let me know in the comments. Speakers, they're not the best, however they work. I'm going to service this tape deck that came out of the original 120, the green one, and make sure I don't chew any more tapes, and leave that one in now. That can stay in the car because it's period correct. It's what would have been original spec with this car potentially, certainly in 1989, the year later. Rear seats and everything, they'll get the seat covers put on. I have got other seat covers that came off mine, so any that are particularly bad, if mine are any better, I can swap them over. They're not too bad to do, more just little sharp hooky clips. And beyond that, really, it's just a case of cleaning all the door linings up, polishing the paint on the inside, making sure everything's clean and tidy. Secure the wiring a little bit in places. It's a shadow in the wrong place. And as I said, I'm going to get new pedal rubbers because they are quite badly worn. Other than that, she's not looking too bad. She'll never be a show winner, we know that. However, it's certainly going to be back on the road and back in use, and somebody can enjoy it. It's a case of getting an MOT on it, getting it all sorted, serviced, anything, all rubber items, brake hoses replaced as necessary, because I replaced them all on this car about 2 years ago, and I'm going braided hoses with that, so I'll have all new hoses compared to what's probably on this one. Again, there's other rubber bits that I'll be swapping over, brakes and things that are coming off that car to go onto this one. These wheels were powder coated. They just need a really good clean up. There's a little bit of rust coming through in places, which I'm not too worried about. And to get the tyres changed, because they're taking up room in my garage. And then the Dodo, or Freddo, or whatever you want to call it, will start to be a little bit better. The back lights, they always fade. If you know these, they always fade and go dull and actually look worse in real life. But I have done the ones on mine previously, and you can get them back something like smooth again. They don't look perfect, but they're a lot better than they are now. It's just a case of cleaning up, washing things, cleaning things, servicing it, putting it back together, and basically resurrecting it. It was in daily use for 15 years. It then needed some urgent repair work. It didn't get done in time, so it got parked up. However, the guy that owned it kept a meticulous log of everything it ever had, so it's effectively got full service history, and every time it had a repair or a fault, or was broken into, or it had fuel, or what tyres there were, it's pretty much an entire diary of its life. And that sort of thing people just don't do anymore. People start with good intentions sometimes, and maybe after 6 months, a year, or a little bit more, it wanes away. But for this guy, this car, it's pretty much everything it's ever had from when he bought it in 2003, and prior to that there's receipts and service history from when the first owner got it from new. So it's not a bad car, it's not got a bad history. I'm just resurrecting it and getting it back on the road. So I think I'll leave it for now, and then I'll do another one for refitting the interior once it's all dried, maybe tomorrow, depending on the time and things like that. So, but for now anyway, thanks for watching. I've chopped an awful lot out of this, otherwise it would have been a 3-hour video and nobody would have seen what I'm saying now. So thanks again, and I'll see you in another video. Cheers.